Hello, welcome to Introduction to Oceanography. My name is Dr. Sarah Dilling. I am your professor this semester. I want to take the next 15 minutes to introduce you to the course webpage, how to navigate it, and how to kind of get through that first week and then your first chapter in the course. So I'm looking at the home page. It's the same view as what you see because I'm logged in right now as a student view. If I were to scroll down a little bit, the first thing you're going to see on the right-hand side is how all of the assignments for this course are categorized and weighted. As you will see here, the quizzes are 30% of your grade. There's laboratory investigations, which we'll go through all of this in just a minute, but total they're worth 35% of your grade. Discussion questions are 10%. Your final exam is 15%. Field trips or project term paper is 10%. There is extra credit that is offered in this class that is worth 5 points to bring you to a total of 100%. So if I were to go a little bit farther down in the course on the home page, the first thing you'll see here, which is what I want you to do first, is open up the course syllabus and read it in its entirety. Every word in the syllabus, I'd like you to read it, make sure that you understand. It'll give you a lot of the information that you need and to kind of cut down on the unnecessary emails of information that just can be found in your syllabus. So if you were to click this link, it'll open your syllabus in a PDF as I have here. And like I said, this gives lots of information, way more than what I can put on the course homepage. So please read this, and once you read it, take your syllabus quiz, and I'll go through that and show you where that is. But before I move on to the next point, I'm going to scroll down. The very first week of class, your assignment is to complete your attendance verification. Edison State College requires attendance verification be completed that first week of classes just to ensure that the student has actually come to class and started progressing through the course. For this course, there are 3 things that have to be done for attendance verification. You'll see here right here. The first is the Canvas orientation quiz, your syllabus quiz, and your self-introduction discussion post. I'll show you where all 3 of these items are, and they just have to be completed by the due date that is shown here. If you do not complete attendance verification, then Edison State College cannot distribute your financial aid, and none of your course modules, the chapters 1 through 7, will open up until these 3 things are completed. Okay, so that's the very first thing I wanted to start with, at least on the syllabus. So let's go back to the course homepage. I want to show you next the textbook information. Both the textbook and the investigations manual is required for this course, so it went too far. Okay, so there are 2 books that you have to purchase for this class. You cannot view either one of these online. They have to be physically purchased. You'll see here the actual textbook is titled Ocean Studies, Introduction to Oceanography, the 3rd edition. If you were looking for used textbooks, this might be something that you can buy an old edition for. I know that I have both the 2nd and the 3rd edition here, and they're very similar. Okay, so that one you can buy used if you can find it somewhere on Amazon or in a bookstore. But the course investigations manual, this is where your laboratory investigations come from. You have to get the current edition. You'll see here right now we're using the 9th edition. Okay, this is the ISBN number on the investigations manual. Make sure you see edition 9 on it, and then usually it'll say fall 2012 through summer 2013, but I don't see that on this one. But the cover looks like this. You cannot buy this textbook with an earlier edition because your questions will not line up and you will not pass your labs. Okay. You'll also see some information here about an AMS website. This website is used for extra information, extra diagrams, graphs, some current events, things like that that you might find useful for this course. You do not get your laboratory investigations from this website or anything from the textbook. It's just more of a supplement information website. And if you were to click on it, you can enter your login and password to get onto that website. All right, so this is the very front of the home page for the course. So now, from here on out, most of your navigation in this class is going to be right over here on the left-hand side. Okay, so check your announcements at least once a week if you don't get them sent to you by email. The way I have my profile set up is that I automatically get all announcements, emails, comments, etc. sent to my email. So I try not to miss anything that students send to me. You can set yours up as well so that when I send out an announcement, it'll come to your email so you don't miss any important announcements for the course. All right, let's go to the next section, modules. The very first week of class, your goal is to get green check marks in all of these activities the way that I have my test students set up right now. This is where you will find your Canvas orientation quiz, which is just a real quick run through of how to use Canvas, which is this presentation right here. The syllabus quiz is just a real quick multiple choice on the syllabus to make sure that you've read it and you understand everything that I put in it and due dates and what's required of the student. And your self-introduction discussion post. This is just a really quick post to kind of tell me who you are, what classes you've taken, etc. Okay. Once all of these activities have green check marks next to them, then your other modules will open up so that you can see them. So these are the other modules for the class. There's 7 different modules for the lessons. Lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the chapters. And then there's field trip information, virtual field trip information, term paper, final exam. All right. So before I get into how to navigate through Chapter 1, I want to go through some of the required information and assignments for this course. So I'm going to scroll down to, we'll start right here with online quizzes. There are 7 chapters in this class that we will cover. There's one quiz per chapter, so 7 chapter quizzes. Each quiz is 25 questions. It's drawn from an inventory of 100 questions. There is a 1-hour time limit on these quizzes. So and you have 2 attempts. If you take the chapter quiz and you're not happy with your grade, you can retake it a second time and the higher grade will be the one that counts towards your class grade. But don't expect the questions to be the same because, like I said, they come from a test bank of 100 questions, so you might see 25 brand new questions than what you saw the first time you took it. Before you take a chapter quiz, though, I suggest you go through the chapter. You can go through it as I have set up here or kind of do it any way that you prefer. If you were to go through the module, the first thing you click on is the Chapter 1 overview. Kind of tells you all of the learning objectives for this class and the outline. Then if we were to scroll down, it'll open up the presentation or PowerPoint that I've made for this chapter. You do not have to use the PowerPoint. You can use it alongside of your, while reading the text, whatever you prefer that helps you learn for this information. But make sure before you take your quiz that you've gone through the entire chapter, you've read the chapter, you've glanced through the PowerPoint if that's something that you want to utilize, and you have a good understanding of what's going on in the chapter before you take the quiz. Here is my PowerPoint. You can either flip through it on here, right, slide by slide. You can click here and open it as a PDF. And then I'm also going to make a page on this website so that you can print them with 6 slides per page if you want to have a hard copy of it to keep as well. All right, so this is the entire presentation to kind of go along with the information in your textbook. So once you're done with the reading the chapter and being comfortable with information, then you can go into the quiz. Let's see here, my computer is hitting too many buttons, so it's taken a longer time than I'd like. But if we go into Chapter 1 quiz, open it up. Like I said, there's 25 questions. You have 60 minutes, 2 attempts. I've already been in it once, so it says resume quiz. And it'll show you, this will show you kind of what the questions and what to expect when you open up your quizzes. You answer all the questions. Down the bottom you'll see submit quiz, and your quizzes are automatically graded and put into your grade book. All right, after you're done with your quizzes, the next thing to complete would be the chapter laboratory investigations. There are 2 labs that are provided per chapter, A and B. You only have to complete one of them. Okay, so you'll see here Chapter 1 Lab A, Chapter 1 Lab B. Like I said, there's only one that has to be completed for the grade, because if you were to take A and you're not happy with your grade, you can take B, and B will, whichever one is the higher grade will count as your overall grade for the course. So for example, if you take A and you're happy and you don't take B, you'll get a 0 on B, but 0 will be dropped. Okay, so it's not a big deal. So if we were to click into Chapter 1 Lab A, I'll show you kind of what it looks like and why it's so important for you to buy the investigations manual. You will see here that all it says is question 1, INV 1A number 1. So that is referring to your chapter lab manual. If you were to open up the actual manual, you will see on the second page, number 1, it's a whole paragraph, and then it'll have in bold and italic 2009, 2010, 2011 for the answer. You plug in the answer on all the answers for the lab manual quiz, and then you submit it and your grade will be counted. Okay. Again, if you're not happy with the grade from A, you can always take B, and the higher the grades are the ones that count. If we go back to the modules, all right, and then I scroll down, we've talked about your Chapter 1 quiz, the labs. The last thing is the discussion, excuse me. Now my discussion page is going to look a little bit different than yours, and I'm actually still in the student view, which I'll have to get out of because I don't have a student assigned to a group. So let me get out of the student view. It'll just take me 1 second. You'll see that you are assigned to a group for the discussions. That's not a big deal. That's no issue on your end. It's more of organization for me. There's 80 students in this class, and so if I didn't split you up, I'd have to have 80 questions that could be answered by every student. So I split you up in 4 different groups. Your group automatically comes up for you to answer, so it's not something that you have to worry about which group you're in. Right? So when you open up a discussion, it's going to look like this. Okay? And you'll see that there's a reply right here. When I click into the discussion questions link right here, it's going to pull up a whole list of questions. You're going to copy the question here and then answer your question. Okay? So if we were to hit discussion questions, you'll see all your possibilities of the questions you can choose. There are 4 sets. You can choose from any set. Okay? You just pick a question that you want to answer. You copy it. You can go, hopefully it'll let me go back to where I was. It's a little bit different. I'm going to kind of go a different way, so hopefully I don't confuse you. But we'll just kind of go back to where I was. All right. I have a whole lot more options in mind than you do. So then we go right here. I would paste the question, and then I would answer the question. Right. Make sure you answer your questions in at least 50 words to receive full credit, and that it's in complete sentences and everything like that. But that is all the information that's really important concerning your modules. And I'm going to make another video to go through the requirements for your, excuse me, I'm in the wrong section here, for your field trips and or term paper. So please take a look for that video. And I hope I've answered all your questions concerning the modules, and refer to the homepage and the syllabus for due dates. Chapters 1 through 4 are due midterm, and you'll see the, hopefully I don't get cut off here as I'm trying to open it up, but you'll see the due dates on the homepage for chapters 1 through 4 in your first field trip. Right here is February 28th. The remaining assignments are due by April 24th. Chapters 5, 6, and 7, along with your second field trip and your final exam on May 2nd. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful semester. Thank you.